Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Jen, Don, Mark, Team DelDOT. Thank you all. Thanks for coming out. If anybody likes my sweater, my wife made this for me, so I just thought I'd get that on the air, especially if you're live. My wonderful, beautiful wife made this for me. Okay. So the Delaware Emergency Management Agency activated its Emergency Operations Center at 4 o'clock this morning and is working alongside other emergency response agencies across the state to monitor conditions caused by the winter storm and to take appropriate action. I want to thank everybody who is there, along with members of the state police who are working to help us get through the storm safely. I want to thank all of the state employees at our hospitals and other facilities that have to stay open, regardless of the weather. I thank them for the incredible job that they do to ensure that all of our essential operations continue to run as well as possible. So the storm delayed its arrival to Delaware. We're still expecting snowfall totals of between 4 and 8 inches statewide. As of a few minutes ago, northern New Castle County had received between 2.5 and 3.8 inches, but still expecting 6 to 8 in New Castle County. There was 0.4 of an inch in Smyrna, and basically, as of a few minutes ago, virtually nothing south of Smyrna. But that being said, we still do expect in Sussex County between 4 and 6, and in Kent County between 6 and 8. The National Weather Service's winter storm warning remains in effect through 7 p.m., and we expect decreasing temperatures and increasing precipitation through the afternoon that may bring snowfall totals up to 1 inch per hour or so in the middle of the day. So state offices are closed, and given the timing and predicted snowfall totals, we anticipate that DelDOT crews will be out through the evening. They are already doing an amazing job, and again, I thank everybody from DelDOT. The most important message for Delawareans today is to please be cautious on the roadways, leave plenty of extra time for your trip. Bus service right now is running a regular schedule, but that may change as conditions warrant, and more information will be provided to reflect any modified schedules. Employers should evaluate for themselves whether and when their facilities will be safe and the status of road conditions in their vicinity, but we do encourage drivers who do not need to travel to refrain from going on the roads to give DelDOT plows the time and ability to work efficiently, and employers should be mindful of that encouragement by us to drivers. Our initial focus will be on primary roads through the duration of the weather event, and as a result, secondary and tertiary roads are likely to be snow covered for a longer period of time. DelDOT crews have done a great job limiting the accumulation, but as I said, there's a potential for more rapid accumulation this afternoon, which is going to require a continued focus on the primary roads before they work on the less busy routes. Turn lanes and off-ramps, as well as secondary and minor roads, may become especially problematic, and we're going to continue to do all that we can to keep these roads safe and to clear snow as quickly as possible. DelDOT's responsible for more than 13,000 lane miles across the state, so we ask for everybody's patience, and you can view real-time road conditions on more than 130 traffic cameras at DelDOT.gov. Moving forward, we're constantly evaluating whether a state of emergency would be warranted, but at this time, with schools and state offices closed, many drivers are already staying off the roads, and DelDOT has been able to sufficiently keep up with the storm on the primary roads. The decision to declare a state of emergency is made on a case-by-case basis and is dependent on several factors, including road conditions, weather forecasts, and feedback from state and local agencies throughout Delaware. Based on current information and the input that we have received for this weather event, a state of emergency is not being declared at this time. We're going to continue to monitor the storm and its impact on roads and reevaluate the decision if conditions warrant it. In terms of shelter, for those who are homeless, the Salvation Army has declared Code Purple for Thursday and Friday nights in New Castle County. That's the 37th and 38th nights of Code Purple this winter at the Wilmington and Newark locations. The volunteer organized and volunteer run Code Purple sites and houses of worship and community centers provide a sanctuary for people who are homeless during these difficult conditions. I understand that the Department of Health and Social Services has reached out to the Salvation Army to provide funding through the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program to help cover those growing Code Purple expenses. In Kent and Sussex counties, volunteer organizers have declared Code Purple through Sunday. To be connected to Code Purple resources, call 211 or search for Code Purple on the 211 mobile app or on its website at delaware211.org. And I want to thank all of the Delaware run and volunteer organized Code Purple sites across our state for supporting people who are homeless throughout this long winter season. Many of these locations reported being at capacity on most nights, and to me this is really about neighbors helping neighbors. And finally, I asked Delawareans to check in on their neighbors, especially seniors and individuals with disabilities, to make sure they're okay. If you can shovel or snow blow a neighbor's driveway, please do so. So a final reminder, motorists who must travel should use caution, real caution, as driving conditions may change rapidly depending upon where you're going. Remember to reduce speed and to increase your following distance between vehicles. Allows a lot of time to get to your destination, and use headlights to increase visibility. But again, if you don't have to be out, don't be out. If you should have vehicle problems, be sure to stay with your vehicle. We're regularly being updated by the National Weather Service on the forecast and its impact on our state, and we're going to use that information coupled with updates from various state agencies and local municipalities to keep residents informed via the web at news.delaware.gov or dema.delaware.gov, and we'll also be active on social media. So that's all I got, and I'm happy to take any questions if you have any.
What did you notice coming in yourself from your house up in
95 and 141 were slushy, but highly drivable so long as you take your time. Came down 92 and 100. They were okay. They weren't great. But I'll tell you, I was on the road on Sunday. My mom and I were on the train up from Florida, and we got off in the train in Virginia. I mean, it was sleeting, for as many as you all remember on Sunday, for hours. And so we drove, 135 miles from Virginia up to Newark, sleeting the whole time. We were very careful. We didn't go more than 40 or 45 miles an hour the whole time. To me, those road conditions were really, really bad. Today was not, at least, from this morning, was not as bad as what I experienced the other day.
Can you talk a little bit, Governor, about the pressure that all of this puts on your resources in terms of salt, manpower, overtime, the whole thing?
Yeah, so we have, and first of all, in terms of people power, the team at DelDOT is amazing. And I can tell you last year, they do obviously get paid to work, but last year we had so many of these storms that by the end they just wanted to be home. Enough was enough, and their willingness to come in at all hours and to be out and to be keeping the roads clear for the rest of us, I think, is extraordinary, and I think they very much deserve our appreciation. In terms of salt, Don and Mark and the whole team do a great job of watching our salt supplies. I think we started the season with about 45,000 or 50,000 tons of salt. Been winding our way down. A week ago we had a lot less, but they were on it, and we've been getting supplies. So we're in good shape for this storm. I hope we don't have too many more. In fact, I really hope this is the last one. They do what they have to do. And last year, when there was an unbelievable pressure on the salt supplies, Delaware was in better shape than a lot of our neighbors. And then in terms of financial resources, look, we have, as you all know, we have a real challenge with our, capital program at DelDOT. And when we have these storms, it just takes away from what we can do in terms of rebuilding, paving roads and, building roads and bridges and the like. This is one of the reasons that we need to make sure we have the necessary funding so we can continue to invest in our roads and bridges. Anybody else?
Any special precautions for tonight when the temperature's going to go down to about 8 degrees?
Why don't I let Don or Mark come on up here to, did you hear the question?
Any precautions?
Any particular precautions as the temperatures drop?
Yeah,
Can we get you to spell your name for us?
it's Mark, Alexander, M-A-R-K-A-L-E-X-A-N-D-E-R. As far as particular precautions for us, as the temperatures get lower, the salt becomes less effective, so it's more difficult for us to clean up. And so even if you're out there on a road that we're plowing, you know, they're more susceptible to be icy, slick spots. So just people need to be careful. Don't be out if they don't have to be out, and stay off the road and let us clean up. But, you know, with the low temps, we particularly deal with the fact that the salt is not as effective as it usually is. And so you will find when you get to, you know, 10 degrees that, you know, there'll be icy areas, even though we've been treating the area and trying to clean it up. So.
Does a storm like this present any special challenges because it's preceded by rain?
Well, the biggest thing with the preceding it with rain is that we like to go out and brine in advance of a storm. So we would brine our primaries and secondaries. But when you have rain, you know, prolonged periods of rain coming in, there's no sense in us brining because all it's going to do is get washed away. So we have that challenge of just having to get out there and jump on it as quick as we can as soon as the snow starts falling. So it does limit us from brining, which is the one challenge for us.
Okay, well, thank you all very much for coming out.
Sweaters available in case.
This was a labor of love, Tim, and I think she reserves that for me. Thank you, and our kids.